locked in. Streetcars roll while the city stay awake. Everybody got a story, everybody got a way. Funny how the phones go quiet when he name names. Funny how the pressure rise when he shift the conversation. He talks schools, streets, money disappearing. Backdoor deals that the public ain't hearing. Things get buried when the cameras don't roll, but the people tune in cause Gerod let it unfold. From the jazz in the streets to the smoke in the sky, the wall ain't still fighting, still holding it high. And the city feels seen every time that he speak, cause the truth hit harder when it finally run deep. Now the whole town riding with the station on loud, hands high while they sing every word through the crowd. Can you feel the city breathing? Every late night conversation, through the speakers, through the rain. Ooh, New Orleans, don't sound the same. Gerod on the radio, whole city vibing slow. Late night lights in New Orleans glow. Everybody listen close. Gerod on the radio, truth in the speakers for sure. From the bayou streets to the corner store, whole city locked in. Yeah. You're now rocking with Gerod, the voice they couldn't silence. New Orleans, stand up.
Whoa, nah. There you go. There you go. What's going on, good people? Welcome to Wednesday. Already? It is Wednesday already. The reality check is on your Ray DDI. Oh, and of course, we've got the illustrious one. She's in the building, y'all. Would y'all please say hello to the co-host of this here show? And that is Attorney Suzette Bagnaris.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the show, WBOK 1230 AM. The talk line is 504-582-9422. You can follow us right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and please share the show.
Mm-hmm. A lot of stuff we got to talk about today. I do want to go back and revisit a little bit with this trash issue because that seems to be the hot topic that everybody's talking about in the city right now. And
because we talked about it yesterday.
We've been talking about it for the last 10 years. And we've been deep diving into how they treated former vendors, to how they're being treated now, to the fact where you want the citizens of this city to take the hit to pay for this thing. And I'm like, no. How do you feel about this? I mean, are you saying no?
I'm saying no, because the whole issue is your incompetence. You have a deal before you that does not make dollars and cents, that you have the legal option of terminating for convenience pursuant to the city's standard contract. Terminate the existing contract, put it out for public bid, and let's see if we can reduce the price of trash collection and increase the services in this city. That seems to be the option that is the best option for the citizens. But instead, you want the citizens to go deeper into their pockets to pay for your mistakes. So, no, we say no to that. We say no to that. We're telling you what you need to do. That should be the advice you're getting from your city attorney. So I don't know why this is not happening the way it should. I don't know why you all are not making good fiscal decisions, because it seems to me that you're making decisions based on politics and politics alone.
Yep. And that's it. It's based on politics. What else could it be based on?
Well, I'm giving you credit for saying it's based on politics, because it's either based on politics
or stupidity,
or it's based on race. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a pass, and I'm gonna say it's based on politics and that you are trying to benefit your political cronies to the detriment of people who were adverse to you in your political races. I'm giving you credit for that. I'm giving you a pass for that, because if it's not politics, it's clearly race, because the black vendors for the trash collection services were willing to do it for less money and provide more service. We know they're reputable companies because the city has used them in the past, and in many instances, it's still using some of them now for some of the trash collections. So you can't say they're not qualified,
Right.
because you're using them. So the question then becomes, is it politics or is it race? Because it's not dollars and cents.
Don't make no sense, no way. It don't make no sense, no way. So I know that's the wrong sense, but I'm thinking to myself, you got a point. It's either your politics or race. So I'm thinking it's also going to be stupidity.
Or stubbornness.
There's a level of stupidity that goes along with this. And that, to me, is something that we've been operating on in this city for a long period of time. And I know they'll go around and be like, I can't believe they're on the radio calling us stupid. Why? Why you can't believe that? Think about where we are as a city, where we should be as a city, and where we are. Yeah, that's a level of stupidity. You all want to talk about everybody else, but when are you going to take your hit?
Well, I'm talking about contract management and accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You are duly elected officers in this city. You have a responsibility to your constituents. You allege that you have the expertise to make sound business decisions, and this is a business decision that clearly is not good business.
There's a level of stupidity.
It's I'm gonna say bad decision. I mean, the city's trash collection contracts have a spotlight on them because of the legislative auditor confirming something city government has known for a very long time. They are without spending months on it. Okay, they did not need an auditor to tell them what they already knew.
Mm-hmm.
That New Orleans has been paying private contractors to collect garbage from thousands of locations that may be vacant, duplicated, non-existent, or legally ineligible for city service.
But isn't this something, too, that we've been talking about for, I'm going to go a little bit further. We've been talking about this part of doing business in New Orleans, that we are having the credit, that we have the audacity to talk about millions of dollars in a contract, but we are looking at poor people in the city of New Orleans because the average household here only brings in $38,000 a year. We didn't say that was one person. We said that's a household, meaning more than likely it's at least four people in that household that brings in a collective $38,000 a year. So when I think about that, it makes me ask the question, hey, what about the folks of New Orleans that want these jobs, that want to be able to do something with these jobs, and you are not giving the opportunity for folks to say, okay, we need to do in-house instead of farming everything out as far as the city is concerned. We farm out more contracts than trying to do it ourselves and make our people better or give them the opportunity to do the work anywhere.
Well, I think this is a joke. This sanitation, accountability, and funding reform initiative that Mayor Helena Moreno's administration has announced is a joke. Because, you have the option to really make reform by getting out of a bad contract and entering into a new one. This is a joke. I don't know who you think you're fooling, but you're not fooling us.
And anybody with any common sense should be able to look at that. And if you know contract work, why nobody else is saying it? Why? Lee, what you say?
Hey, G, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I've been better. I just wanted to just piggyback for a second. What is not about race? Everything is about race. It's about whether you are black or whether you are white. We have not graduated to the level of thinking above 5 millimeters thick of skin. Everything that we do in this city, state, and country, it's about race. And it shows in the politics, it shows in all decisions that are made, all decisions. And we as a people have to understand that very few people like us. Why are we the most hated race in the world? What have we done to gain that reputation? Because these white folks do not care about us. They are about money. And they have the misconception passed down through generations that everybody black is worthless. And I don't care how you sugarcoat it or put glaze on top of it. It's all about race in this country. It's all about race. And unfortunately, I have come to realize that late in my life that it doesn't matter what we do, what contributions we make to better society or civilization. It's about race.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no two ways about it. You know, they don't judge us from the content of our character or what's in our heart. They judge us by the color of our skin. White folks, and I hate to use the word they. I'm going to name them. White boys, white folks. They judge us by the color of our skin. And I'm not changing the subject, but Noah Wells, they judge that kid by the color of his skin. And it's going to come out. Now, why? Why do they continue to subject us to their racial stupidity? It's because they know better. They're not ignorant. They don't care about us. We have to take it upon ourselves to better ourselves. Nobody will. I mean, ever since I was a kid, it was always Dick and Jane and Tom and Susie. You know, Jack and Jill went up the hill and all this kind of foolishness. It's all about race. And it's a shame. And we have to understand that. We have to teach our children not to be prejudiced, but to judge a man for the content of his character. It's always been about race.
And
They don't care
sometimes
about us.
they don't even realize they're being racial. So this morning, I had a colleague of mine who was complimenting me on a good job done in court this morning in the Harvey case, and said to me, I really think you're doing a great job. And you know, when I first met you, I just thought you were an angry black woman. And now I realize how smart you are. You know, he didn't even realize he was being offensive in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
wow, what a stereotype. Your first impression
Right.
of me is you think I'm an angry black woman, and now you realize that what I'm saying has a lot of intellectual value. So now I have value in your mind, but I didn't have value in the beginning. It's
right.
really interesting because he really didn't think he was being offensive with those words, but it truly was offensive.
Yeah.
What's interesting about it is that how could someone be so stupid? You know, education is the way out of poverty. It's been said time and time again. Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, the great anthropologist Margaret Mead. And, you know, education, you know, my brother taught me a good lesson. My dad was ill. I wanted to drop out after 2 years of college. And he took me, he said, boy, nobody can take what's in your head. Don't you give up what you've got. Education is what we should all be concentrating on. And we should be feeding our kids. We should be employing them to explore things that they question. And that's our mission in life. We've got to make the world a better place by teaching all our children, you can go further than me. You can do better than me. And these people don't want us to be educated. I mean, we can name 1,000 things. The elevator, the refrigerated trains, the stoplight. I can go on and on. But we have made a major contribution to the civilization of man.
Well, I'm going to say
And
this, Lee. I'm going to piggyback on what you're saying. They told black people that education was the way out of poverty, and we listened. Our parents sacrificed, our grandparents saved, we borrowed money to get an education. We worked during the day and attended classes at night, and we became first generation college students, and we earned bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, law degrees, medical degrees, engineering degrees, and doctorates. We did exactly what America told us to do. But when black people began entering colleges and universities in greater numbers than white people, they changed the game. Now they've made college more expensive. They've reduced public investment in education. They've shifted the cost from government to families. They replaced affordable tuition with decades of student loan debt. And they attacked affirmative action. They dismantled DEI programs that helped us to get into school. They began describing efforts to correct historical exclusion as unfair preferences. After we earned these degrees, corporate America then changed the rules again. That degree that was supposed to open the door for opportunity and give us these great corporate jobs, now they're saying that's the minimum requirement to stand out. And we're told we lack the experience because nobody gave us the experience. And we were told we're not the right, quote unquote, cultural fit for the corporate workplace. And we're told to be patient, to work harder, to find a mentor and wait our turn. Now we're getting excluded from corporate America. There's 600,000 black women that have been fired from corporate America since Trump took office. And we're watching less qualified white colleagues advance above us than the people that we trained and we promoted.
But guess who's the most educated?
Black women. Black women.
So,
and they don't like it at all. That's why they want to call us angry black women, right?
So I'm just
but the game is being changed.
But I'm just getting the facts here from several folks that texted me saying that Thursday, they have put the issue of the sanitation on the agenda for tomorrow. It's going to be it's supposed to be deferred though, but it says it appears that it's going to be deferred, but it's on the agenda for tomorrow. But it looks like it's going to be deferred to the 3rd of September. But Lee, you always been saying the same thing about education, so.
I mean, it is supposed to be the key, but they're not. Now they're disqualifying us, even though we're educated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they don't want us to. They want us to do menial work, get menial pay, and be satisfied.
Yeah. Well, we've always had that issue, though. I mean, this ain't nothing new for us. It's not nothing new.
Absolutely.
Lee, always good to hear from you, buddy.
Same thing, man. I'll have to fill you in later, but I've had some major health problems.
Yeah, I can hear a little bit, but as long as you're here with us, that's good. That's the best thing.
Yeah. Hey, man, I'm not pushing up no roots.
I understand. All right, my friend.
All right, G.
I'll talk to you soon.
You.
All right, more coming up, y'all. We got to take a break.
What's up, gang? This is DJ Wick, and I would like to invite you to join me this Sunday night for the Throwback Throwdown, 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM and on KKNO 750 AM and 107.1 FM, as I have a very special show this Sunday to salute the man himself, Barry Richards, the Rita Czar, as he has passed on and gained his wings. I'm rebroadcasting the very first interview of the Throwback Throwdown with the Rita Czar as our special guest. Join us this Sunday night for the Throwback Throwdown with yours truly, DJ Wick, 7 p.m. on WBOK 1230 AM and KKNO 750 AM, 107.1 FM.
What if you could pull up a chair at the same table as your doctors? Join me, Kimber White Dupree, as I welcome board-certified physicians, Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlanda Reno Harris. For Table Rounds, we're bringing those meaningful medical conversations out of the hospital and into our community. Health topics that matter most, from the health disparities and menopause to mental health and much more. Table Rounds with Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlonda Rayno Harris. Every fourth Monday at 10 a.m. on the front porch, because better conversations lead to better health.
Step back into time and experience the moments that shaped our world at the National World War II Museum. This world-renowned museum brings history to life, telling the stories of the American experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. From immersive exhibits to powerful personal stories, this is more than a museum. Go to nationalww2museum.org and plan your visit today.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton. Losing a loved one is tough enough. Do you really want your family dealing with court battles and paperwork on top of it?
Whether you choose a will or a trust, think ahead. Take care of your family. Let them focus on healing instead of headaches. This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
WBOK is pleased to announce the reboot of Crosstown Conversations with host Gene Nathan. A heightened focus on cultural entertainment events and the creators who present them. The new time is now Saturday at noon. Tune into the stories of our exploding creative scene with Gene Nathan on Crosstown Conversations.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great day. All right, let's talk trash. It's not necessarily a topic that I want to talk about, and it's not one that you probably want to hear about either. But I need to fill you in on a legislative auditor report that was released this morning. As you all recall, a few months ago, I asked for the legislative auditor to come in and really assess our sanitation services and the fee around sanitation services, because we were seeing that the fee was not covering the cost of service. And we were also seeing a mismatch between number of properties that were being billed and those that were on the service list. So the legislative auditor and his team came in, did a very thorough review, and I wanted to go through some of their findings with you. So first and foremost, not a big surprise, but they saw that the fee was not covering the cost of service. So bottom line right now, the fee is $24. And just a reminder here, this fee has not been touched since 2011. That was the last time that this fee was looked at, touched, anything, and it's at $24. And that brings in about $38.2 million. Now, right now we're paying $59.3 million for service, and that leaves a deficit of $21 million for this service. To cover the deficit, the fee would need to be, according to the auditor, $36.26. If we would have done an adjustment for inflation, and once again, this is a problem that's longstanding over many administrations, but if the city would have done an adjustment for inflation, the fee would have been at roughly $34.62 today, which would have essentially covered the service. But here's the other issue that they found, and that was the one that my administration originally flagged, is the inconsistency of numbers between the billed locations and the service locations. There's roughly about 164,625 service locations. The billed locations, though, are 143,653. The difference of almost 21,000 addresses. All right, so what happens next? We are urgently working to make sure that we get the addresses right, and into the billing system, that we're moving forward with a verification system, making sure that when an address comes in, it's also going into our billing system. It's going to be a process to fix, but we have to get it done. And we have to make sure that moving forward with this fee, that it is also done fairly. What is the fairest way to assess this fee based on the information that we have now? So that's what we're working on at this very moment. I'm going to have another update on this as the days go on, and particularly next week when we go before the City Council. Not my favorite topic, as I've told y'all before. I know it's not yours either, but it is something that's been a long-standing problem that we do have to fix. All right, y'all. Have a great day and a great week.
All right. There you have it. That comes from your mayor, just to let you know. And I'm really shaking my head for a couple of reasons. And I'm hoping that you all will bear with me for a moment. So when you're dealing with these shows and you have these problems that have raised their ugly heads previously, it's amazing to me that the folks that you end up talking about were a part of the previous problem, the previous administration, the previous administration, the previous problem. And I just happened to be sitting at this microphone when those previous problems raised their ugly head. And I got to go back to agreeing with Lee, just like he said, everything got something to do with race. Because you're having a conversation telling me you want to raise my fees. You all are penny pinching everybody. It costs more money to daggone live in the city of New Orleans than it ever has. That's number one. Number two, this is a vendor. This is not somebody that's working for the city of New Orleans that's going to improve the people that work for this city. This is a vendor you're talking about that you need to get some more money. And I just don't understand how in the hell you all can raise somebody's amount that they make, give them a cost of living increase in a contract, but you all didn't do the math to find out, could you really afford it? Well, what do we do? Just open up the bank door and just say, come on in, y'all have a good day. Let's go ahead on and write them up a contract. And you all didn't know how much money that this trash contract was going to be to generate the amount of pickup and delivery, because it's not 3 contracts. Somebody said, well, it's 3 contracts. It's not. It's 4 contracts. No, it's not. I got in that argument yesterday. It's 4 contracts. I'll be more than happy to tell you right now what they are, because you were making me mad yesterday to the point where I was like, I'm not going to tell you what it is because you're ignorant and you don't know what you're talking about. But I've had the pleasure of sitting down and having a conversation with Jimmy Woods as well as Alvin Richards to understand how these contracts are divided. You have somebody that's going to pick up the West Bank. You got somebody that's going to pick up the New Orleans, East, and Gentilly area. You have somebody that's going to pick up the French Quarter, right? That's what they think is 3 contracts. But it's 4. What's the 4th one, Gerard? I'm glad you asked. The 4th one is delivering the trash to the landfill. The landfill has a contract too. Why? Because they go by tonnage. So if you're delivering tonnage out there, they're going to weigh the trucks when they bring all of that information out there, all of that trash. And before you can put it in a landfill, they give you a receipt on the way out saying, hey, here's how much you brought. If you notice in that conversation that the mayor was having, she told you that we are picking up over 124,000 residents' trash that's not supposed to be picked up. I got to go back to Lee again. Lee, you hit it on the head when you said, oh, but it is about race. Because when this conversation came up, maybe 5-10 years ago, between Richards Disposal and Metro Disposal, you all sent the Negro Watcher and his group out there to make sure that we weren't picking up trash that was not being paid for. You all sent Dr. Cowan and his group of students from the university to ride in vehicles behind every truck that was picking up all the trash. Yeah, I called it the Negro Watchers. So why aren't we doing that now? The other part of that, how do you all put together a contract with a cost increase, and tell me, oh, that's not water running down, that's not pee on your leg, it's raining. You all put a cost increase in a contract after the contract went away for Metro and Richards. They didn't have a cost increase. It was, this is it, and if you can't do it, guess what? You got a problem. Thirdly, you got a man that says, hey, look, I operated over 10 years in a same contract, no cost increase, nothing else. I operated this over 10 years, and you're telling me that if I sit down in front of you and tell you that I can save you $19 million, that don't mean do the squat? Hey, don't look at your leg. That's not me peeing on it. It's raining. All this just pisses me off, and it makes me mad, Suzette. That's why I tell you I got to bring this up. And then for them to act like they don't know what the hell is going on, and you want to take me from $24 to $36 to pick up trash? Come on. These I'm surprised they don't have a line protesting. And who in the hell would be having a protest over your waste trash? Everywhere this man goes that picks up your trash right now, there's controversy. Have y'all ever noticed that? Everywhere he goes, there's a controversy. There was a controversy when he first picked up for the French Quarter, because it wasn't then, it was Torres. There was a controversy when he was emptying all the porta potties over at Voodoo Fest, when Lee Zurich was following him, saying that he was dumping raw waste in the sewage. There was controversy when you're picking up trash in Kenner. And now we got this, and you're in the middle of it again. Dude, your reputation is not that good. And if everybody would just look at it and say, do we really want to do these vendors or be a part of this vendor, or let this vendor be a part of us? Because it looks like we're getting just ganked. We're getting ganked. And I think that you got your folks in City Hall that's pulling the strings for you. What do you owe them? What do you owe him? Why are we now going to, oh, Lord, the auditor done said we got $21 million in debt. Who's counting the beans? How did y'all put together contracts and you don't know how much money you got? What kind of doo-doo is this? Pardon the pun, and trash. What is this? How are we putting together contracts and we don't know how much a contract should or should not be? Who's doing the math? Okay, I'm finished. I got off my soapbox.
Well, it's just this one phrase that just keeps bothering me. Whether we're hearing it from the mayor or we're hearing it from the sheriff, I'm tired of hearing the phrase, this is a long-standing problem. I'm letting you know right now, we're tired of hearing that.
It wasn't a long-standing problem.
Long-standing is not an explanation. It's not an excuse, and it's certainly not taking accountability for the problem. Let's talk about the fact that you're not new. You created this problem,
right?
Okay. 4 current city council members also served on the council during former Mayor LaToya Cantrell's administration. J.P. Morrell, council member at large and a current council president. Leslie Harris, District B. Freddie King, District C. Eugene Green, District D. Y'all are not new to this. You're true to this. You were on the last council under Mayor Cantrell. We have 3 new council members, Willard, McCarron, and Jason Hughes. Now, also in the executive branch, Mayor Helena Moreno, you were council person at large during the Cantrell administration from 2018 to January 2026. You are responsible for the messed up trash contracts that we have right now. And Chief Administrative Officer Joe Geruso, you served as the council person for District A during the Cantrell administration. So I need you to stop describing this problem and every other problem that you're claiming you're just now realizing as a long-standing problem inherited from a prior administration. The fair response is you were the administration. This happened on your watch. You are responsible for this mess, and you need to fix it.
Red slippers. She's talking to you. I just had those slippers in there.
It's disingenuous for them to pretend like this is something they're just learning because some auditor that you requested to do a report did a report. You created the problem. You awarded the contract. You decided not to take the lesser cost contract with more services because you didn't want the black man to have the job.
And it is on record that Mr. Alvin Richards sat in front of that dais and told you all, I can create a program and put it together where I can save the city $19 million and do the recycling. Because what we have not talked about is you all dropped the recycling, but you didn't drop the price of going out here to get the recycling. We're still paying for recycling, but nobody's saying anything about it.
And you tell me how on a majority black council, they're not doing the right thing. They could call upon the mayor to terminate the existing contract, send it out for rebid, and award it to the bidder that has the best offer. It's a majority black council, folks. Hold them accountable. They're not doing the right thing. Just because you knew Matthew, Amy, and Jason, that does not give you a pass either.
Nope.
To ignore the obvious.
Yep.
To ignore that this contract is not in the best interest of the city, sends it out for public bid, and picks something that makes dollars and cents for the people of New Orleans, irrespective of politics and irrespective of color of skin.
I can't believe that we're sitting here in a city that has a problem with its water, has a problem with its lights, has a problem with its police department. And we're sitting here trying to figure out why we're paying so much to pick up trash. We're talking multi-millions
because they owed
of
a
dollars.
political favor. Let's just put it out there. This is one of your biggest campaign donors.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a shut up conversation. Well, we're going to pay you as long as you don't say nothing. We don't want to know about them political favors. So, here's your friend. He don't talk to me no more. Hey, Mr. Harold.
Hello. I was in the traffic downtown Houston. I just left the building department. I want to build some units. So one of the interviewers, or whatever you call him, I asked him where was he born. He said New Orleans, and he's one that don't look like me or you all. So he began to tell me about his family and whatnot. So I told him I occasionally go on WBOK in New Orleans. But anyway, what I want to say is it kind of seems like to me, I don't know if you all have ever heard of racism. No. And I'm listening, and I'm trying to get here so I could call you. But I think you kind of read me a little bit wrong. And you say we. And what I'd like to say to you is that I do know black people in every field and every business that exists. So times are different. I heard the caller a little before, and he was talking about black people want so-called white people that don't have the capacity to like you, and they feel like any advantage that you make is a disadvantage to them. I live among them. I do business among them, and if they didn't have racism, they would not exist. And they're afraid of black people. But what I've said to you, we need to be educated and educate your children. That's the key to everything. Now, I could sit on this phone and tell you about a black man from New Orleans, Louisiana, in Los Angeles, that I don't know how many McDonald's he owns. I know a black woman that owns 10. I haven't talked to her lately. She might not still be alive, and I'm hardly alive. But new car dealerships, anything you name, black people are in it. And when you say they don't like us or we, who in the devil is it why do you want them to be bothered with them as far as liking you? And that's never going to happen.
So I think that's not true. I'll say that, Mr. Harold, because I could care less if you like me or not. And I've always been taught, I don't have to like you and you don't have to like me for us to do correct business. What's happening in this city is that we're being taken advantage of. And that's when I say they. If I could sit here and count beans just like anybody else, and I'm not holding an office, but you're putting it out here, a spin, and that spin is incorrect, and it's actually a lie. And I'm tired of folks saying, well, we can do this, we can do that. We already know what we can do. We already know what our perception is. We have survived this long, over 400 years. When we do stuff, it shows that we can make a whole city and a whole country operate and generate. And I want everybody to understand that ain't got nothing to do with me, or I don't think Suzette, with anybody liking us. I don't give a rat's about who like me, but don't lie to me.
And here's my thing.
Because we pay your salary.
Here's the thing, Mr. Harold. We got into this a little bit the other day, and you mentioned car dealerships. So there are 266 dealerships are black owned in America. Okay? That's 1 out of every 64 dealerships. That means that black people make up 6% of all dealerships. We make up 13% of the population, which means we're still lagging behind where we should be by 7%.
I thought it was 50%.
Well, it's 90. Well, you're right. 94% are owned by white people.
Mm-hmm. But you're saying,
and 6% are non-white.
Right. So we're 13% of the population, but we only have 6%
that
of
are
the
non-white.
dealerships.
So they might just not even be black.
50% of the population, we don't even give an opportunity to say that we have dealerships because we don't have them.
Right. So every time you give me one of these, we have people there. Yeah, we might have a few. We don't have enough. And why don't we have enough? Because the rules of the game are not fair.
And every time the rules get changed, Mr. Harrell, it seems that somebody's trying to move the goalposts.
Well, let me say a similar thing happened in Los Angeles years ago. A friend of mine was in the medical transportation business, and he was pretty big. And on the day that Mayor Bradley died, who was black, and he was the longest serving mayor in Los Angeles. So anyway, a contract came up for the business that my friend was in. And the councilman, a couple of them that were black on the council, they voted against him. Now, a man, we were talking one day, and he said, do you know who the most racist or prejudiced people are? So I didn't know what his answer was going to be. He said, black people among each other. And the problem is, as I see it, I'll say we, but not me, we don't work together. We don't respect each other. And that's the biggest problem. It's not the so-called white person. And we are envious of each other. So What can I tell you? I was with Martin Luther King twice. I was with I've probably said this before. I repeat the same thing. I'm getting close to becoming a senior citizen. I'll be 90 my next birthday. Anyway, I was with Thurgood Marshall before he went to the Supreme Court. And what I've seen, and life has been good for me, and it's good today. Let me just tell you this. There's a builders convention and machinery in Las Vegas every year. And my son and you hear me mention my son. My son's my partner. We go to the convention, and we wanted to meet some black people at the convention. And what happened was we met two people, and they were from Africa. We did not meet a developer from this country at all.
Okay.
And what you might not know is there are black women that build skyscrapers in New York.
Yeah, I understand that, Mr. Harrell, but right now I got to take my break because my producer's looking at me and telling me that. But I understand the conversation. We've had this conversation a couple of times.
Ask your producer who's the boss.
Okay? I am. I don't have to ask because
I'll holler at you later.
All right, Mr. Harrell. I'll talk to you in a minute. All right, we got more coming up. Mr. James, hold on.
This is Gerard Stevens.
And I'm Suzette Bagneris.
Each weekday from 4 until 6 p.m., join us for the Reality Check.
We talk about news in and around New Orleans each weekday, 4 to 6 p.m. online.
And 12:30 a.m. and 107.1 FM.
The Reality Check on WBOK, 12:30 a.m. and 107.1 FM.
New Orleans is built to host, and at the New Orleans Ernest and Memorial Convention Center, it is where big ideas, major events, and careers come together under one roof. As the 6th largest convention center in the country with a team recognized as a national top workplace, we are proud to power the events that keep our city moving forward. Our staff of more than 450 brings nearly 3,900 years of combined experience, an average of almost 9 years each. If you're looking for a robust benefits package, career stability, and opportunity, visit mccno.com to explore open positions today.
Wake up and join us on the Good Morning Show every first and third Friday at 8 a.m. to hear our friends at New Orleans & Company, the official destination sales and marketing organization for New Orleans and a driving force behind our city's cultural economy. Learn more at www.neworleans.com.
I'm Angelica Harris, a proud New Orleans native and founder of Top Tutors for Us. In high school, I raised my ACT score from a 60 to a 32 and earned more than $1.5 million in scholarship offers. Now, our award-winning platform connects Black students with tutors who look like them, from leading universities like Xavier and Tulane. Your child can achieve that same success. Visit TopTutorsForUs.com and follow Top Tutors for Us on social media. Built for our students by us.
When you talk, we listen. WBOK. Here we go. The Reality Check on WBOK 12:30 a.m.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. What you say, Mr. James?
Hey, Mr. Harold, full of that wisdom, man. But I gotta disagree with him. I would challenge Mr. Harold that if he is not or does not have any business or know anybody or related to anybody that's in business in this city, in this particular city, not LA, not out there where he live at, where the weather is pretty and everything else, to try to do business here as a black man to see what happened to him. That's all you're saying. And I hear what he's saying, and some of what he's saying may be true, but this city, we work together harder than most, I believe, other than Houston and Atlanta. Sometimes the powers that be, we put some people in place that don't work for us or work with us. But that's not the population fault at that point.
Mm.
That's just, spook by the door, working against us type activity there. So, but I hear you, Mr. Harold, but I think until you you sit down and try to do something in this city, you won't know what we talking about or going through until, because a lot of us try to come out that way too. And people was like, well, we don't want nothing to do with the Negroes from the South. So, anyway, I'm going to hang up and continue listening, but I just wanted to straighten that out because I think he's missing some key aspects to what we going through down here.
Mm-hmm. I know, and I've known Mr. Harold now for many years, and he's an avid listener. He and his son of this show. I know he don't mean no harm.
He always coming with the knowledge.
Mm-hmm. But I
love them too.
But I do have to agree with you in the sense of it's a whole different entity down here. It's interesting that if you make a certain amount of money, you're doing something illegal. Yep. If you're trying to make some money, they're going to block you out. Yep. If you're making some money, are you going to be able to continuously make it? And then the other mentality of those that are making it, how they going to keep you out? Because they don't want to help you. All right, what in the world?
Yeah, I mean, and all that do is shrink the pie.
And when do we reach back and mentor and help somebody else to get their share?
That part.
Yep.
That part. As him did it when he asked that brother about about that own all the McDonald's, how many people he talked to about becoming franchisees, or what he seen on paper that brother did for anybody else outside of his family and close friends. And that's not knocking that brother. I'm not knocking that gentleman at all. But I'm just saying, like, the way things go in L.A. ain't the way things go. And them people out there talking that talk, they probably only deal with you because you look a certain way and you able to stand on your own. They can use you usefully. So anyway, I hear you, Mr. Harold, but please hear what Gerard saying too, sir.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good one, bro.
All right, James. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Yep.
Well, I can agree with the mayor on one issue. She says that they have to correct the service location list, determine the actual cost of sanitation. They do need to do that. Mm-hmm. They should have been did that. So I do support correcting the records. I support accountability. And I certainly support preventing public money for being paid for services that were never needed or never performed.
But I guess
they should have already had a handle on that.
But I guess my question, though, Suzette, is let's not act like this wasn't done before. So where's the research that y'all's guy, Dr. Cowan, did when y'all did it to Metro and Alvin Richards? Where's the research? Where's the information?
Look, I'm going to call it what it is. This report is only being done to justify a rate increase.
And don't forget, we have had a reduction of people that live in this city now. This is not an increase of services. We've had a reduction. And I guess my question is, how come we keep going up in price when we don't have the people here? But you're telling me it costs more. You're acting like we had 500,000 people or more, 600,000 people or more in this city now, but we didn't have that many people here after Katrina.
It's just incompetence.
Yep.
Okay? Before the city asks residents to pay $1 more, you need to separate two very different problems. Mm-hmm. One is the problem of the current sanitation fee generating enough money to pay for the service that the city legitimately provides. And the second problem is whether the city has been accurately administering and monitoring its sanitation contracts. And I'm saying no to the second one. You need to terminate that existing contract.
It
doesn't make sense.
Can be terminated.
Yes, it can. And it does not make sense. The audit says the city has 164,625 locations listed as eligible for service.
How many?
164,625 locations listed as eligible for service. Nearly 8% of those, 12,915 locations, are vacant, duplicated, non-existent, or otherwise ineligible. The audit identified $319,000 in unnecessary contractor payments associated with duplicate addresses alone. To me, your legal department needs to take a page from the Kenner legal department and sue your existing contract for reimbursement. Make demand upon him first for reimbursement, and if he doesn't give it to you, you're going to have to sue him.
And
Kenner's doing it. Why aren't you?
So now that money that's going to River Birch, not going to River Birch, but as these trucks go to River Birch, which is where they dump, we have a contract with River Birch. So the more that you're putting into the dump, the more we have to pay. So if I pick up more than what is needed, then my weight on my truck
It's higher.
It's going to be higher.
And you're going to pay more.
And you're going to pay more.
Right.
It's all a scam.
Look, it is a scam, but that's a scam based on incompetence. You should already know which addresses you're supposed to be picking up trash from, and you should not have duplicates in there. And the fact that you're getting billed for a duplicate address is a misrepresentation and fraud on the part of the person billing you for a duplicate.
So we're not checking none of the...
We're not checking it. So that figure, needs to be checked, and it should have been checked a long time ago. At the same time, the city says sanitation revenue is approximately $21.1 million short of the cost of providing the service. Well, we know where we can save you $19 million of that.
So that would leave us a balance of what?
2. That's Ursuline math.
I'm getting ready to say, when did you...
But the answer cannot simply be we discovered that we have been paying inaccurate bills, so now we need to charge the residents more. No, baby, that doesn't work. You discovered you cut a bad deal. You discovered that you all were not keeping track of the number of people who should receive trash collection, and now you have made a mistake, and now you want me to pay for it. It doesn't work like that. You can't keep writing checks with your mouth that my behind needs to cash.
Oh, Lord. Can we say somebody poo-pooed in the wind? That was a fart.
Well, they keep writing checks with a bottomless checkbook, not looking at what their budget is and then expecting us to bail them out.
That was another fart. And here comes the big fart. You ready for the big fart?
No, I really don't. I mean, come on. They need to get a grip here. I mean, it's just, it's very irresponsible. It's fiscally irresponsible. And we're tired of it. So do your job.
All right, everybody, get your farts together. We're coming back in a minute right after the news, and we're going to have some more conversation. I see all the phones ringing.
Just pray for me.
Yeah, everybody hold tight.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. As Democrats predict a strong midterm showing, political analysts say Texas remains a wild card. Rice pollster Mark Jones.
The story of the 2026 election will depend heavily on support for Republican candidates among Hispanic Texans.
Experts note Hispanic voters helped fuel President Trump's 2024 victory and could again play a key role in determining where Republicans can flip additional congressional seats. Authorities in Memphis are investigating after Black 6-year-old Winter Jones died when she was reportedly left on a daycare bus during extreme heat. The nonverbal autistic child was found unresponsive hours later, and multiple agencies are now reviewing how the tragedy occurred. And a federal judge has blocked the Trump administration's effort to move the FBI headquarters from Greenbelt, Maryland to Washington, D.C. Like Maryland Governor Wes Moore is calling the ruling a victory for the state, saying it keeps plans for the new FBI campus in Maryland on track. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back.
So they're about to put this sanitation fee proposal on the New Orleans City Council agenda. You can submit a written public comment electronically, or you can speak in person. So let me tell you how to submit a written public comment. You go to the council meetings and public comment page. Open the meeting where the sanitation ordinance is listed. Identify the exact ordinance number and agenda item number. Select the electronic public comment form for that meeting. Include your full name, your street address, whether you're being paid to comment, the exact agenda item or ordinance number, whether you support it or oppose it, and then your written comments. Submit it as soon as the agenda is published. We're going to let you know when it's published. We're going to be watching. Community guidance says the electronic form generally closes at 8 a.m. on the morning of the meeting. Okay, so we're going to tell you when the meeting is. Because I think we all need to send them a little love note, a little comment, telling them we're not paying for their mistakes.
Because that's their mistake. They made the mistake. Now, what I would say that everybody needs to say in their public comments that want to send them is the fact that their city council has the ability to terminate this bad deal. And we should be requiring that they terminate this contract. They have the ability.
The contract.
They
Absolutely.
have the ability to do it. Terminate the contract, and let's start from the beginning. Hell, y'all had us out here one time before putting our trash in the back of folks' pickup trucks and taking it to the other station. I ain't opposed to doing it right now until we get this straight. And getting it straight does not mean that we have to pay more. Let's do that. Cedric.
Hey, good evening to the both of you and to our listening family. So here again, we have the current mayor, the current president of the city council, who were the city count, the at-large members in the last administration when all of this was going on. So, and now it's like they don't know what's happening. Did they not read the budget? Were they not astute? Did they not think to ask their former colleague, Mr. Oliver Thomas, what's going on?
They shouldn't have to ask him. Hell, your mayor was the daggone committee chair for the budget.
All the black people that voted for this woman, all the political gatekeepers, all the preachers and bishops, the congressmen, what are you all saying to this level, about this level of incompetence, because they were on the city council that governed certain things?
Everything.
And I'll hang up and listen.
They governed everything. They didn't govern certain things. They governed everything about this city. It went through the budget process. The budget process is two different issues. We have a budget that we have operating expenses every day. And then, of course, the next budget that you got to look at is our capital expenses. Everything in the city of New Orleans goes through the budget process. I wish everybody could get a copy of that book. Cedric, that book is like 2 inches thick, and it has everything in there that the city pays for. So,
man, listen, they're not shaping up to be better than Trump or the Republican Congress.
You want me to tell you why this is happening? The available reporting establishes two different forms of support from Sidney Torres to Helena Moreno. He did a direct contribution to her mayoral campaign of $5,000, but then his PAC, Voice of the People PAC, paid for polling for Moreno when she was running for mayor. We don't know what that was. The exact total value of the PAC spending that benefit Moreno is not stated in the reporting, but the PAC reportedly had nearly $150,000 available to it. Torres and his companies also contributed $26,000 to 2025 city council candidates, including Matthew Willard got $13,250, Holly Freeman got $6,000, Leslie Harris got $2,500, Amy McCarron got $1,500, J.P. Morrell got $1,000, Jason Hughes got $500. Now that's not including money that his friends also gave. or his family members also gave.
Right, because family members can give up to what?
5,000.
I think it's 6,000 now.
Yeah. So I mean, follow the money.
Mr. Harrell said something very monumental when he was talking about a person told him that the greatest hate was black on black. Look at this past mayoral race, black on black, and we ignored qualified black candidates. Now, when are we going to hold these blacks that went against supporting qualified blacks accountable? Y'all have a good one.
All right, Cedric. Galloway.
What's going on, brother Gerod?
What's happening with your big money?
No, don't call me that. Somebody might think I got something.
I might have to ask them, where are you today? You the world traveler.
No, I'm sitting under the bridge. I'm homeless. No, I ain't got nothing. No, y'all look like y'all need some money.
You can't be sitting under the bridge here, bro. They will arrest you.
Look, y'all gave the answer to the test. Counselor just read you out what I kind of called about. Follow the money. That man, Sidney Torres, has bought the New Orleans City Council and the mayor. They're not going to go against nothing that man says, and whatever he wants, he's going to get it. He has the money to back it up. I gave you this, and you going to do this to me? No, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
I want this raise, and I'm going to get it. And it's going to fall on the taxpayers, the citizens of Orleans Parish, to pay it. That's the bottom line. And it's sad that it got to be this way. Because, like you said, they all served on the prior administration on the city council. They know exactly what they was doing. Or maybe they don't, because every time they on TV in those meetings, what you find them doing? Playing with the phones, doing TikTok videos, dressing up as Captain America / Wonder Woman at night. So, hey, they put themselves into it. And you're so correct.
Wait a minute. Wait, bro. Hold up. Did you say you dress up as Wonder Woman at night? That's cross-dressing.
I ain't say that too loud.
Yeah, I'm telling everybody. I'm telling on you, bro. You said that man dressed up as Wonder Woman at night. Yep, that's cross-dressing.
Wonder Woman, Catwoman, She-Man. Don't tell nobody I told y'all.
But the point being, following the money, that's not an accusation. That's a fundamental rule of public accountability, right? When a company holds a multi-million-dollar city contract, when its owner contributes to political campaigns of every last one of the city council members, because I just read it to you, right? And the mayor. And when elected officials who receive that financial support from that contractor are making decisions affecting that contractor, the public has a right to examine the entire relationship. Sidney Torres reportedly made the maximum direct contribution to Helena Moreno's campaign. His Voice of the People Political Action Committee separately financed polling that showed Moreno leading the mayoral race. Polling is not cheap. He funded televised candidates forums and publicly endorsed her. Torres and companies associated with him also contributed nearly $26,000 to the other city council members, the body responsible for approving the budgets, approving the contracts, sanitation policy, and any proposed increase in the trash fee. That does not automatically prove that there may be a little corruption here, but a campaign contribution it's not by itself a bribe, but supporting a candidate is, this goes a little far. There's some kind of conflict of interest here. And what I'm trying to say here is we need to follow this money, and we need to see why these decisions are being made, particularly when it's not making good dollars and cents for the constituents.
But I don't like the farce of trying to get everybody in the public to say, oh, my God, look what we discovered. Oh, my God, look where we are. They didn't just discover this. They've been on this.
You can't create a problem and then say you discovered it.
Right.
Exactly.
And who puts together a contract with cost of living increases? And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the last time I really read that contract, where there was a $80,000 a year increase to Sidney Torres' contract, and a $70 million contract to pick up the trash every day in the French Quarter. $70 million for what, 5 to 6 years?
I think Ray Charles could see this. This is paying off a political contributor with
That's
a
all I'm saying,
contract that
Counsel.
doesn't benefit the citizens.
They don't care about the citizens. This is about making their buddies happy. That's the same thing that crook up there in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is doing. Long as he's happy, his buddies are happy. Just like down here, she's happy, her buddies are happy. But look, Gerard, you speaking at the NAACP breakfast. Is your mayor coming?
No.
Thank goodness.
No.
Bottom line on that one. Thank goodness she ain't coming.
So evidently, well, there's a couple of things. I'm going to be the MC for that next week, but I'm also let me throw this into as since you did bring it up, which I'm going to be doing. I'm also just now, I think probably maybe a couple of hours ago, Noah's Ark is having its annual NICU information over at the Hyatt. I've been the MC for Mayshell and those folks every year, and this year that she wanted all women, so I said I'll step down, no problem. And Gina Swanson was put in as the MC, but for those who didn't know, Gina's mother died, so I just got off the phone earlier with Mayshell and told her that I'd still step in, and I do that especially for my friend Gina during the time of grieving. So I'll be there in front of those folks on Saturday. You need to.
I just want to push back, Mr. Harold. I respect you. You've been through way more than I could ever dream about doing. I don't think that I can put on my size 12 boots and walk through the civil rights era like you walked through it. But, sir, black people in New Orleans can and will and do work together. That's very relevant that we do that. So I got to push back on that one, sir. Now, what we do have in Orleans, and Brother Sam said it best, it ain't that easy to buy a black preacher in New Orleans for your political campaign. It ain't that easy to buy a black politician for your campaign in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened in this last election. Now, those people got their little money, and we know that they was getting paid. They know that they was getting paid. So instead of saying we have a hate towards each other, we need to say, stop being easily bought, because you get nothing in the end besides higher trash bills. Now I'm going to get up off this phone, and I'm going to go watch my Red Bottom at Instagram after dark. He might dress up as Catwoman again tonight. Y'all have a good day. Galloway out of here.
All right, Galloway.
And this is how political silence is maintained, though. As long as the acceptable black people, the ones who supported the campaign, raised the money, delivered the endorsements, and protected the white candidate from black criticism, continue receiving appointments to boards and commissions, many of them will remain quiet on the creek. Mm-hmm. They may be present, but presence is not power. They may have a title, but the title's not independence. They sit on the board, but they're sitting there silently. They just want to be in the room. Some of us are just happy to be in the room. But that's really a shame.
Because you think you're making yourself important.
You think you're making yourself important, but we see you too. We see you too. You know a lot of this stuff is wrong, but you're going along to get along because you want to be recognized as being in the crowd.
So bring that up for a minute. I want to talk about these folks that are being politically, and notice what I said, politically, placed on some of these boards that do not have the expertise that are needed to make change or have the expertise of any of those boards that matter to me and you, that fix problems that we've had, what we're going to be looking like in the future, what's our budgeting process. We don't have, I think, that information to say, hey, look, sorry, you can't be on this board. People on this board are not political. They are folks that have the expertise to make things happen for this entity that there's a board for. We don't have that process.
Let me tell you, I'm so sick and tired of it. A board appointment should not be a political thank you note.
Nope.
And these are not ceremonial positions created to reward campaign supporters, donors, friends, and political allies. Boards and commissions make decisions involving public money, land use, utilities, housing, transportation, public safety, economic development, and essential city services. And these decisions affect real people in their lives. But what I keep seeing is y'all appointing people to oversee a utility that have no experience with utility regulation, engineering, finance, infrastructure, or consumer protection. You keep putting people on the housing board that don't know anything about affordable housing, tenants' rights, real estate finance, or community development. You keep putting people on the public health board that have no medical background. You know, you keep putting people on the sewage and water board that don't know how to fix a sink. I don't understand what you're doing. I mean, and you think that our city is going to get any better because you're putting your friends on these political boards?
Did you say fix a sink?
They don't know how to fix the sink, but not in charge of the sewage and water board. They can't use a plunger.
Oh Lord!
But now they on the sewage and water board.
Bro, start the music. Start the music.
They don't know how to use the plunger. They got to call for help.
Oh Lord!
But you gonna put them on the sewage and water board because that's your friend.
All right, we gotta take a break, y'all. We got more coming up in a minute. I'm gonna teach you how to use the plunger real quick. We'll be.
And maybe I'll get appointed. Maybe I'll get appointed to sewage and water. Teach me how to row a boat, and maybe I can get put on the Port Authority.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily put Suzette on the team. More coming up, y'all.
Let me get a kayak. So I can get on the Port Authority.
Oh, Jesus.
Be sure to join us Thursday afternoon on The Reality Check as WBOK's very own Wendell Pierce, in conjunction with the New Orleans Film Society, will be here to discuss his new movie, They Fight. Don't miss out on this exclusive interview with Wendell as he discusses the movie and other projects he is working on. It all goes down on The Reality Check, Thursday afternoon on WBOK.
It's time to lock in.
Yes, Coach.
Let's get it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Hey, New Orleans, it's Doc Griggs. Tune in every Thursday from 12 to 1 p.m. for Doc Talk and get checked, get fit, get moving.
This is The Law in Your Legacy. I'm attorney Pete Hamilton.
I'm attorney Ryan Hamilton.
If you had $1 million, would you leave it to an 18-year-old?
Hopefully not, but that's exactly what can happen with a simple will. The money goes straight to your kids when they hit the legal age, no guardrails.
A trust lets you control when and how they receive their inheritance. You can set ages, milestones, or even make sure they finish school first.
Give them security, not a spending spree.
This is not legal advice. That's just a tip brought to you by Liberty Bank and Trust. For more information, go to libertybank.net or contact us at 504-915-5016.
Greetings and salutations. I am Edward B. Coulon Smith, chairman of the board of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd like to invite you to tune in every Wednesday at 12 noon on WBOK to listen in on Black to Business and be a part of the movement that's going on. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shirley Simon.
I am Dr. Brenda Jackson.
Hello, my name is Linda Payson. We are all members of the NAACP New Orleans branch, and we would like to invite you to our President's Legacy Breakfast.
The President's Legacy Breakfast will be held on Saturday, August 29th, 8:30 a.m. at the Hilton Riverside Hotel.
Get your tickets today at eventbrite.com for $100 or call the NAACP at 504-434-8965.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The Reality Check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back.
Yep, you know, that's a great example that Joe Ken just put online of
About
our leadership dropping the ball and conflicts of interest. So the St. Bernard project is the proposed Louisiana International Terminal, a massive container facility planned for Violet, Louisiana. The Port of New Orleans originally described it as a $1.8 billion public-private project supported by approximately $300 million in federal infrastructure grants and more than $800 million in anticipated private investment from Ports America and Terminal Investment Limited. The Army Corps of Engineers issued the federal construction permit on August 17 of 2026. Now I want y'all to go look on who was on the Port Authority of New Orleans board and who went and got that money for St. Bernard.
Same person.
Same person.
Ain't that a conflict?
To me, it is. Okay? To me, you're about to take money out of Orleans Parish. You're going to hurt the port here in Orleans Parish. You're going to bring all that money to St. Bernard, and you were on the Port Authority in New Orleans.
Conflict of interest. And nobody even said anything.
Nobody said anything about it. And nobody's watching the fact that we're about to take a major economic development hit.
Yep.
When the container business moves from Orleans Parish to St. Bernard.
So someone had I'm going to go back for a minute. Someone had the audacity that right after Katrina, and I want to hear from the people on this because I don't want to misquote it. But I had a long conversation with Cynthia Willett Lewis because y'all got to remember Cynthia Willett Lewis was not only your city council person for District E, she was also a state senator for the district after she termed out. And I'll never forget sitting down. We were right outside of the Gentilly location of the radio station. And I was talking to Cynthia, and I said, Cynthia, what's going on with the district? She said, we're still fighting. I said, what you fighting? She said, gee, we got green dotted. I said, yeah, but I thought that was over with. She said, no, because there's money coming down. Now, this is how long ago this was. There's money that was coming down, and they needed to approve it from Washington, D.C., because New Orleans East got green dotted. And I said, well, so what does that mean? She said, New Orleans East is going to become more a container city than anything else. Am I wrong? I said, somebody call me and tell me, do you all remember that we were getting ready to fight that New Orleans East was not going to be a container city? This is where they were going to put all the containers. That's why they wanted the green dotted, so that people couldn't live there, because they wanted to store all those containers out there. I'm like, oh boy, and make it like a big port city in New Orleans East. I was like, So I wonder, though, is that same money?
I'm sure it is.
Because that's taken a long time to say that is. But now, the people in the Lower Ninth Ward got to remember that, that Lower Ninth Ward area starts right past what? Jackson Barracks? Mm-hmm. I know when we start looking at some of the projects that are right there past Jackson Barracks, they're really upset because that grain train is going to be rolling right through, I think, right there by a couple of the older folks' residents, the Tip Center, where they took McDonough, was it McDonough 30 or McDonough 19, and made it a place where we can call cultural. And now you're going to see that grain train rolling right in front of it, and all of the possibilities that could happen. That's going to have all that dust and everything else rolling in front of it. So I'm looking around and saying to myself, where was the conversation piece with the people? There ain't one.
Oh, the people don't get included. And the people are being seen as an afterthought. It's the same thing with this data center stuff that's happening all over the country.
Right.
I really want to talk about that another day when we have more time.
Mm-hmm.
But, the new environmental justice battlefield is Meta.
Right.
and these data centers, and
messing up people's water intake.
absolutely.
Messing up their electricity bills. Did you get your electricity bill yet?
I don't look
I looked at mine and said, I must be living in your house, because mine tripled. My electricity bill this month tripled. My electricity bill is usually maybe $100 and some bucks.
I have all that on automatic bill pay.
Mine was on
my
bill this month was $500. I was like, I'm not even in an electric car, nothing. I was like, somebody's stealing they running wires to my apartment building, something. What's going on? I went from $100 and something to $500. I was like, saying to myself, what was I doing? Nothing different. Maybe it's just the heat.
It is very hot.
Maybe that's it. So these data centers are going to create that type of information, or those data centers are going to create that type of higher cost of living for a whole bunch of folks that I don't think are really ready for it.
The NAACP has correctly stated the issue in plain language. Jobs will not justify the harm that these data centers are about to bring to poor and Black communities. What we're witnessing is the physical cost of the so-called digital revolution. Artificial intelligence may live in the cloud, but the cloud is not floating harmlessly above us. It occupies enormous buildings. It consumes electricity generated by power plants. It requires tremendous amounts of water, which deplete the resources. And the farmers, they're going to get hit, and they just don't realize it. It depends on.
And this is going to be the biggest data center in the country.
And let me tell you, it's about to hurt those people. It depends on diesel generators, gas turbines, transmission lines, and other industrial infrastructure. And all of that infrastructure is usually placed in Black communities or poor communities. Once again, we're seeing these major corporations and government officials like Jeff Landry make decisions about technological progress while asking Black, brown, poor, and politically marginalized communities to absorb the consequences. And the communities are told that the development's going to create jobs, it's going to increase the tax base, it's going to place them on the forefront of innovation. But it's not. What it's doing, it's creating permanent pollution that stays while the promised economic benefits either never fully materialize or flow elsewhere. So the NAACP is starting to take a hard stance on this. A job does not compensate a family for a child that's going to develop asthma as a result of this data center.
And the hardware of this data center is going to be in our neighborhoods. The hardware of these data centers are going to be put in our neighborhoods, just like they put the petrochemical plants.
It's the new wave of environmental injustice.
Yep.
And, really is bothering me here in Louisiana is that Jeff Landry is trying to do all this in secret. He is trying
What's
to
the
use,
NDA thing?
Yes. So Jeff Landry is defending the use of non-disclosure agreements during negotiations that brought Meta's enormous AI data center project to Richland Parish. And his argument is that the corporations needed confidentiality while competing locations and financial terms were being negotiated. Now, but the bottom line is they're trying to do all this in secret. They don't want you to know the terms. They don't want you to know about the risk assessments that's being, sent around. They don't want you to know about the real community impact that it's going to have, the potential health problems that it's going to cause. They don't want us to know any of that. So, they're sending out these NDAs, and he has even signed an NDA.
Right. And they had a conversation on the news, and the reporter was really sticking it to him, asking him, what's up with the NDAs? And he would not answer the question.
No, he's saying he needs the NDAs to close the deal. But, we're the people. You work for us, Jeff. We're asking you legitimate questions. You need to tell us what's going on. This veil of secrecy, this Area 51 kind of secrecy that he wants to have over this data center is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And I don't understand why the people of Richland Parish are not, up in arms about this and really attacking him on this. This is not making any sense either. This is a bad move for Louisiana's environment, Louisiana's infrastructure. It's not going to be justified by the tax concessions that he's going to give these people. It's just a bad deal. The project emissions, the water consumption, the generator capacity, the noise levels, the power requirements are bad for this community and bad for Louisiana.
I just don't think that they're paying attention. I mean, how can you not pay attention when you own a whole bunch of land in Richland Parish, and somebody walks up to you and says, I want to buy all of your land, and here's cash. See you later.
A $50 billion.
You don't even have to clean it up.
Right. A $50 billion investment sounds impressive, but the size of the investment does not eliminate the need for transparency.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the larger the project, I think the greater the need for transparency.
Yep. I agree.
He's hiding something, folks. It's plain and simple. If this deal was great for Louisiana and great for Richland Parish, why not be transparent about it? The fact that you're hiding something lets us know it's a train wreck waiting to happen.
Yep.
An environmental disaster. When you tell people, trust us, we're bringing jobs, while simultaneously hiding from the light of day the negotiations, the projections, the risk assessments, and the supporting information behind the deal, we know you're full of it.
So let's use a comparison, and let's bring it home for a minute. Let me use this comparison. We were told the same thing by one of the utilities. I'm going to use energy for a minute. That you're going to be able to say to us that this new innovative power plant that you ended up putting out right as you go into Chalmette was going to be innovative, and it was going to help us with our power bills. And just in case something happened, we could always have it here because it would take over with supplying a good portion of the power that was needed for our city. So we had this coal-burning fire plant that was right here by the river that was being built by Entergy, and it was supposed to keep us out of harm's way whenever there was going to be a rolling blackout, whenever there was something happening with the weather, or we needed to make sure that our bills were going to stay intact or at least be lesser. Then we got a wake-up call. The wake-up call was we heard that MESA, which nobody knew who the hell they were, told the power plant, hey, they told Entergy, you got 30 minutes to get your stuff together and tell the people of New Orleans and the surrounding areas that we're getting ready to do rolling blackouts. And we were like, what? And then all of a sudden you got rolling blackouts because they said there was such a increase in power surges in our area that they couldn't control it. And instead of blowing up transformers and all this other stuff, that they wanted to just say, hey, cut the power. My question then was, would we have this brand new power plant out there like going to Chalmette at the Green Bridge? Why do we have it? For what reason? If we can't cut it on to generate power for the people that paid that $93 million for this gas and fire plant.
It was nothing but a money grab.
Nothing but a money grab.
Service did not improve. And I think the same thing is going to happen here with this AI meta center. Okay. I think that economic development here is going to be minimal compared to the environmental impact, the negative environmental impact that these residents are going to suffer.
And what do we do? Hire a whole bunch of...
To me, these people need to be raising hell. Government does not get to demand blind trust from the people it serves. The people of Louisiana are not shareholders in Meta. They don't have a seat in Energy's boardroom. They don't get to go to confidential briefings. What they do get to do is hold political officials accountable. And they need to demand that these NDAs get thrown out. I'm not too sure that they actually have a legal ground to stand on with the NDAs. We'll talk about that another day. But I do think that they need to hold people accountable to not just take bribes in silence for secrecy.
Right.
The data center is bigger than just Meta.
This is a big deal.
It's a very big deal, and it's going to have an adverse impact on the state of Louisiana.
And I'm telling you that Meta is going to make so much money because this is not going to be a data center that is just going to help us. This is going to be a worldwide data center, the largest in the world. And I think that we have no idea what's it going to be capable of.
No, because of the NDAs.
Yep.
We have not heard any of the risk assessments with regard to environmental and public health risks.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't heard the cost projections to know if the costs exceed, the projections and the health impact. And what protections do Louisiana families have that these promises are going to be kept? We don't know because we can't see the deal. Show us the studies. Show us the risk assessments. Show us the projections. Show us the guarantees. Show us who profits and who carries the risk.
Show me what you're working with.
Right. Don't simply show us ceremonial groundbreaking, images while hiding the contractual foundation beneath it. This is horrible, and I don't think people are waking up to see what really is going on here.
But I don't think that this is Chinese arithmetic. All the folks got to do is open up books, let us look. But I want to have somebody qualified that knows how to look at these different deals to say this is a plus, this is a minus. Here's what's good for you. Here's not what's so good. Because in any deal, whether we're talking, a corporation deal or some other deal, there's going to be something. You're not going to get everything that you want. But this one is hidden completely.
In black and white that we're not seeing. If this is truly a good deal for Louisiana, Jeff, then it should withstand public scrutiny. Open the books, release the terms, explain the risk, and answer the questions. Because Louisiana's water, air, land, tax dollars, and infrastructure belong to the people.
Yep.
Not you.
Yep.
Not a regulator, not a corporation that has the right to negotiate away our future while telling us that the details are none of our business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you're doing right now. You're negotiating away our children and grandchildren's future for a safe environment while telling us the details are none of our business.
None of your business. None ya. It's none ya. I didn't say onion. I said none ya. So I don't see where Louisiana, and I know this is going to take us to another topic of conversation, but with the number of entities on how they rate the state, what I'm looking at is the deals that are being made, and we're talking about, hey, economic development. The state of Louisiana, not just in New Orleans, the state of Louisiana has no plan that will take young people and get them prepared for job creation other than how to cook. Now, listen, I am not talking about those folks that have restaurants or those that have their food trucks or get out here and cook on a daily basis. I'm not talking about you. That's the way you make your money. I understand. But what industry, other than the petrochemical industry in the state of Louisiana, is helping young people to get other jobs? Hell, we were just sitting there talking with Dwayne and all of them, about what they're going to do, how to get these different jobs, where to go to school. And, even he looked at me and went, I don't know, bro.
Look,
and you're talking about a grown-ass man.
Right. At least 4 major national organizations currently rank Louisiana last or near last across broad measures of quality of life. U.S. News and World Report, best states, ranked as 50th overall. America's Health Rankings, 50th in health. And it's going to get worse with this data center.
Yep.
The Annie E. Casey Foundation for Kids, 49th in child well-being. We're at the bottom of the barrel, and we're still making these horrible decisions behind closed doors. I just don't understand why Louisiana keeps failing its people. And yet our leaders continue announcing massive economic development projects as though the size of an investment automatically proves the quality of the deal. They give away tax revenue like this hotel, right? It's bad investment.
Which 40 years.
Unbelievable.
Who
really
put
bad
this
contract.
deal together?
Horrible decision. They give away tax revenue. They commit public infrastructure. They negotiate deals behind closed doors, and then they come to you after they made a mistake
To fix it.
on the contract and ask you to come out of your pocket to fix the problem.
Terrible. But you made a very valid point of why are you all putting these deals together and not really looking at the impact of the child or the children that have to deal with this for the next 30, 40 years.
Yeah, it's not us, okay? I mean, we're not going to be dealing with the fallout from the Meta Center, right? It's going to be our grandchildren who are dealing with the fallout from the Meta Center.
Yep.
It takes a while for these environmental changes to take effect and have a big impact, but it's going to happen. And we can all see it's going to happen. I know it's going to affect the fishing industry, the farming industry. It's going to affect things that really mean a lot to Louisiana.
Yep.
It's a short-sighted deal.
And if you look long term, we don't know what's the next best thing. But you can guarantee something's coming. I mean, here's how I'm going to look at this one. We're building on the expertise of what we see with AI or what we see with Facebook. We already have young people that's calling Facebook something old. They don't want to deal with it. They're Instagram. They're some other entity. So what if, by some chance, we got the next best thing coming and it's not what we're building right now? And 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, it's obsolete. It's just going to be a big empty space
That destroyed the environment. I just want to say to our city leaders, a post on Instagram is not a plan.
It's not a what?
A plan.
No.
A study does not solve a problem unless you're willing to take the action necessary, the corrective actions necessary to address what the study shows.
We got to take the break. Miss Audrey?
I'm getting tired of these late night Instagram posts. How about you?
Miss Audrey, hold on a minute. We got to take our break. When we come back, we'll come right to the phone and have some conversation with you as we get ready to wrap up. More next, right here at WBOK.
AURN News.
Well, a political upset in Florida. State Representative Angie Nixon, a Jackson Democrat, former union organizer and member of the Democratic Socialists of America, has scored a stunning upset in Florida's Democratic Senate primary. Nixon won with nearly 56% of the vote, despite being outraised more than 16-1. Nixon now becomes the first DSA-aligned candidate to win a Senate primary this cycle. She'll face Republican Senator Ashley Moody this November. Analysts may favor Moody, and to that she says this.
Some folks like Ashley Moody like to claim the mantle of morality, yet their actions tell a very different story. But we put actions behind our words. So Ashley Moody can call it whatever she wants. But in November, she will call me Senator.
For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Hi, my name is Shirley Simon.
I am Dr. Brenda Jackson.
Hello, my name is Linda Payson. We are all members of the NAACP New Orleans branch, and we would like to invite you to our President's Legacy Breakfast.
The President's Legacy Breakfast will be held on Saturday, August 29th, 8:30 a.m. at the Hilton Riverside Hotel.
Get your tickets today at eventbrite.com for $100 or call the NAACP at 504-434-8965.
What if you could pull up a chair at the same table as your doctors? Join me, Kimber White Dupree, as I welcome board-certified physicians Dr. Princess Dinner and Dr. Darlonda Rayno Harris. For Table Rounds, we're bringing those meaningful medical conversations out of the hospital and into our community. Health topics that matter most, from the health disparities and menopause to mental health and much more. Table Rounds with Dr. Princess Dinner and and Dr. Darlonda Rayno Harris. Every fourth Monday at 10 a.m. on the front porch, because better conversations lead to better health.
Step back into time and experience the moments that shaped our world at the National World War II Museum. This world-renowned museum brings history to life, telling the stories of the American experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. From immersive exhibits to powerful personal stories, this is more than a museum. Go to nationalww2museum.org and plan your visit today.
This is Andronika Morris, host of Put Housing First. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock, where we will discuss how housing affects every aspect of our lives and what's necessary, what's needed to guarantee housing for all. Join us every Tuesday at 12 o'clock as we dig down deep onto the issues that affect all of us.
I'm Angelica Harris, a proud New Orleans native and founder of Top Tutors for Us. In high school, I raised my ACT score from a 60 to a 32 and earned more than $1.5 million in scholarship offers. Now, our award-winning platform connects Black students with tutors who look like them, from leading universities like Xavier and Tulane. Your child can achieve that same success. Visit TopTutorsForUs.com and follow Top Tutors for Us on social media. Built for our students by us.
I'm Wendell Pierce. Thanks for making WBOK your station. WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back.
It's hard out here.
It's hard out here for me. Yeah. All right, let's go to the phone line. She's been holding on for a minute. Miss Audrey?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
What about you and Suzette?
Oh, we hanging.
We're doing well. It's good to hear from you.
Well, I just wanted to really just compliment the two of you. Gerard was wonderful before, but with you, Suzette, the two of you are a powerhouse. And I tell all my friends about it. If you want to know what's going on in New Orleans, and especially all the things that adversely affect us, you could get a political science degree listening to the two of you. Well, and I just want to thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Audrey. We really appreciate you listening, and we appreciate you calling in from time to time to share with us.
Okay, you all have a great day.
You too, my dear. Thank you much. Bye-bye. I was not planning to make this whole show about that contract, about what they're doing. I just mentally, when you know this because you go through the same thing, mentally when we get off of this show, and Miss Audrey, I hope you understand what we're getting ready to say. Mentally, when Suzette, myself, we get off of the show, I'm tired. I'm mentally drained.
And we're coming here after doing a full-time job.
After doing a full-time job, you come in, and some of the time during that full-time job, you get mentally drained.
Right.
So you can end up with a drain twice. But I want everybody to understand something. If you like us, thank you. If you don't like us, still tell somebody, because we want to make sure that we talk about the things that are pertinent to the man, woman, and child of this city.
Things that matter to you.
And I know that as I talk to people about trash, I didn't think at one point in time that this was going to be such a hot topic and everybody's going to go, whatever, let's move on. But it is, and it's one of those things that, too, in the city of New Orleans, the trash pickup is more powerful because of the fact that we lost a day that you're already paying for. And if we went back to that time where they said, oh, you're only going to get one-time pickup, and you're paying for two-time pickup. Who did the math to make us lose $21 million? I don't understand it. And that in itself makes me go, somebody's not sitting there with the bean counter and saying, this is what we can do. Here's how much it's going to cost us. So let's start looking down. I really don't think, now this is my personal opinion, I really don't think that the French Quarter needs 7-day pickup.
They don't. They don't.
And I'm looking around and saying to myself, and then the other part of it is, you all had to go and buy special little garbage trucks to do the pickup. Plus you get, I guess, the limited fresh smell, and you get pressure washing. Well, let me throw something in here, and I want to ask anybody.
Meanwhile, you're getting screwed.
Yes.
They're getting the lemony fresh.
Oh, they getting lemony fresh. What we smell like? What we smell like? You know what it smells like in New Orleans to me? Now this is going to hit. This is going to hit on. But you know what it smells like in New Orleans?
What does it smell like in New Orleans?
Weed.
It does.
Everywhere you go, somebody's smoking, and they smell like weed.
Yeah, the weed bus goes everywhere.
I don't want that in my clothes.
Speaking of weed, we could do a show on this. Folks in Texas, you need to look this up. THC is now illegal in Texas.
Yep.
And just having one gummy can give you time.
Yep.
You need to tell your people in Texas, and you need to be aware of that when you travel to Texas. Do not bring that to Texas. They are not playing with you, and you will get serious time for having THC in Texas.
Be like, sir, do you have any marijuana on you? Nope.
Empty your purse. Take them gummies out. That's all I got to tell y'all. I'm trying to do you a service.
I just look around and say to myself, the things that we are putting, I guess, some type of value to is extreme. But who is it important to? Is it important to the people that are in the French Quarter, or is it important to the city of New Orleans that has to pay the abundance of that money? Those folks that live outside of the French Quarter. And I think one of the worst things that this city has is a commission that only takes care of that French Quarter area. The Vucare Commission is the Negro watchers that are making sure that they get what they need more so than anywhere else in the city. Now, we can sit around and talk about that the French Quarter is the, what can we call it? Well, the
beacon of the city.
A beacon of the city.
It's what draws the tourist.
But guess what, y'all? The majority of the people that are from New Orleans are not the operators of the venues in the French Quarters. And to make insult to injury, only 1% of 1% of the folks that have a business in the French Quarter are us. 1% of that 1%, okay? We don't have businesses in the quarter. Now, you're telling me...
So that trash collection is not impacting the black community at all.
At all. But you're telling me that this is the Mecca of New Orleans. But black people don't get the same opportunity to operate their businesses in the Mecca of the city. And then my city council comes out and puts together areas of the city where you can't do business that are close to the French Quarter. What kind of doo-doo are we doing here?
That's not for you. That's not meant for you.
But we're paying for it. We're paying for it. And by the way, we going to pick up their trash 7 days a week. I don't even know that everybody understands that, because when it was said the first time on the air, we started getting folks all over the internet going like, what? Yeah, they get trash pickup 7 days a week. Now, I'm not mad that you could do something about, well, they may need a couple of more days, but 7 days a week, I just think that's a farce. You don't need 7 days a week. Well, we need to stop and make sure they don't smell like a donkey and the donkeys, doo-doo in everywhere. I thought we saved that by putting the bags on their rear ends. Like, what you got? I got a weed bag on my rear end, baby. I got a weed bag on my rear end. The donkey smoking. But I just think what we're doing ass backwards, the fact that I just said donkey, but I think we are doing ass backwards. And some of this you're doing just to do political favors for your friends. And I hope that everybody is paying attention now, because I guarantee you this has gotten a lot of everybody's attention. And it ain't just black folks. White folks is mad too. So pay attention. Tomorrow, Wendell Pierce is going to be with us. He's going to come in and have some conversation. But join me tomorrow morning, because I'm stepping in for the illustrious one. I'm not so illustrious, but I'll be there. We're going to be over at the Southeast Louisiana Port Authority to have some conversation.
The
levee board. And make sure that they hear exactly what's coming out of this law firm. You want to explain a little bit more?
So tomorrow on the agenda at SEFLA is the termination of Chief Rondino. I did a public comment, and because I have court in the morning in another case, Gerod is going to go read my public comment for me so that our voices can be heard. If you would like to have your voice heard, it is at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and we'll put the location. It's on Franklin Avenue. I'm assuming it's at the levee board office, but nonetheless, if you'd like to have your voice heard on the issue tomorrow, 10 a.m., it's an item on the agenda.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap things up for us. We will be back. We will be back on tomorrow to have some more conversation with you. So y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Be careful.